We're talking to Professor RBullock and Mr. Michael McClendon from Tennessee State University with the Department of Cooperative Education at Tennessee State Cooperative Extension at Tennessee State University. And of course, Dr. Bullock and Mr. McClendon, before we end this show for today, let's give both of you an opportunity to make sure that our audience is aware of some of the things that you wanted to talk about today. By having you, Dr. Bullock, to start us off by talking about some of the research that has been done at Tennessee State University in this particular area, and the impact that all of this is having up on what we might call historical black institutions of higher education.
Thank you, Dr. Haney. Some of the research that is going on, and as an extension program, we are basically the outreach of the research program that is under Dr. Collison, which is IAGRA, Institute of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. We work very closely hand in hand. Some of the research that is on the forefront here, number one, I mentioned the goat program. We are building a goat program, a goat facility that will extend the goat program throughout the state. That is goat cheese, meat, milk, because you know, and so this is a good fit for the small farmers. We're also looking at the hybrid walnut that is led by Dr. Idasi. These are trees that can be producing in 5 years. So this is burning edge. We're also developing the mushroom program in which we can produce fresh shiitake mushroom for the restaurants. We also have, about a year ago, the very first time in Tennessee, initiated the formation of the Tennessee Organic Association, which is abbreviated TOGA. This is one area that we are trying to provide healthy foods to a community. That is, you know, foods that are grown without chemicals and artificial fertilizers.
Organic
so,
food.
Yes. So we have, Tennessee State has taken a lead in that. We're also looking at one other project that has been funded by USDA, is the pigeon pea variety, which is very, very high in protein, both for human consumption and animal consumption. And this is, for this first year, we've started a research project, joint research project, that will move the short day pigeon pea, which you plant around the month of April, and you can harvest that by August. And it's well accepted by most folks that came from foreign country, and it's a very, very delicious pea that is growing, and we do have that on our farm right now. So we also have, Dr. Haney, and this is exciting, we have on our farm the 12 varieties of peaches. We have about 10 different varieties of blueberries, about 10 different varieties of grapes, and 10 different varieties of blackberries. These are some of the nice things that is going on. We only don't cater toward the food production, we also cater toward the homeowners. You know, in McMinnville, we have one of the most beautiful ornamental stations there that cater toward producing ornamental plants for the homeowners. We also have on our farm research and demonstration on different turfgrass varieties so that homeowners can see and use these things. So even though we're dealing with the small and limited resource farmers, we are at large dealing with the urban community also, so in urban gardening program. So we have a very, very wide range of issues that we're reaching out to basically the underserved and then the limited resource farmers and small farmers in general.
And so most of these projects not only will help the small farmer, but these are public-minded and public-geared kind of programs that's directed to improving the lives of individuals within your catchment areas. That's what we're saying?
Definitely, definitely.
Now, of course, Mr. McClendon, within your range of media activities and et cetera, what are some of the things that you'd like to leave our audience with today?
Well, Dr. Haney, the Cooperative Extension Program is on the move, and we appreciate this opportunity because not only is Dr. Bullock doing a phenomenal job with the small farmers and his team, also we have Dr. Thelma Sanders Hunter, who does a relative caregivers conference on a yearly basis where she's working with parents of relative caregivers. We also have Dr. Javiet Samuel, who is doing a lot of work with the youth throughout the community. She's doing something called Hip Hop in the City. She did that last year where we work with youth and talk with them about issues dealing with hip hop music, dealing with abstinence, sex, drugs, alcohol. These things are being addressed. Also, something that's come up here lately, Dr. Joshua Dossie, who is on the farm team, has been teaming up with Alabama A&M. They've been addressing the issue of black farmer land law, something that's been going on in our community for quite some time. And so we're looking at issues, how can these farmers fight to keep their land, find out what's going on, what are the issues surrounding passing your property on to your children, what are the issues surrounding those property taxes, having a will. And so there are a lot of different areas that are being covered because we have a number of specialists, including our communications team as well. And so we just hope that people will take advantage of the various opportunities that the Cooperative Extension Program offers, because we're here for the community, and as Dr. Bullock said, we are the outreach portion of the university.
You know, Dr. Bullock, over the last 4 minutes that we have here, let's look at some of the things that you believe that Tennessee State University can do in order to elevate the situation of small and limited resource farmers. I mean, what are some of the other things that perhaps that Tennessee State University might not be doing that it could possibly do in order to do that?
I think one of the things, first of all, let me say that we got some real strong leadership, all the way from the president, Dr. Johnson, on to my administrator, Dr. Chesney, and Dr. Lagari. So we have very strong leadership, and with this type of leadership, we are now linked up with Tennessee Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Farm Service Agency, NRCS. We have some of the things that we have not really touched on previously that we're getting into is like water quality. That is an area that Tennessee State is moving into. You know, we, for many, many years, stood in the back line and look at these things, but we never really realized the impact that these things would have on our children, and future grandchildren. So Tennessee State University is offering an opportunity to specifically the minority community to speed up and get abreast of the scientific information out there and be educated. And this is where Mike's distant education program comes in effect, because we're only a very small staff, and with television and the internet and the program that Michael is doing, can reach every single farmer in every corner of this state and outside of it too. So we're moving ahead.
Very good. And of course, Mr. McClendon, over the last minute and a half that we have here, let's give you an opportunity to say something about the people that you work with. I think you've already indicated that you've got a small staff, but it's a very, very effective staff, and now you think that you might be able to reach the world through the internet and et cetera. What are some of the folks that support you in that kind of activity?
Well, actually, we have a team of about 4 people. Our team leader is Janelle Sargent. Janelle Sargent is Associate Professor of Distance Education, our Distance Education Coordinator, and she's the one who deals primarily not only with the different departments on campus, but also off campus. I'm the media specialist, so I do most of the videography. I'll go out and videotape many events, put together DVDs and duplicate those. Also, we have Princess Patton, who is our editor, and she deals with a lot of our publications, and Jane House. Jane House does a lot of our graphics work, and she's been there working with a lot of our copying, as well as conceptualizing different ideas as they go into media format with relates to print media. So Jane and Princess are a very valuable part of our operation, as well as Ms. Sargent.
Very good. And of course, over the last half minute we have here, Dr. Bullock and Mr. McClendon, let me thank the two of you for bringing us that excellent information about Tennessee State University and the Cooperative Extension Program and some of the activities that the two of you are involved with, because I know that as both of you have indicated that you might have a small, limited number of staff, but in terms of the programs and how innovative you are, I think that some of the things that you're dealing with are areas that can really bring small farmers into quite a bit of activity. And we want to thank you for bringing that information to us today. And let us encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning. All right.